Hello and welcome everyone to the Gnostic Takeover with me once again. Hello to everyone. Grateful to have all of you here on this live stream. Just taking a sip of water and tune in to what wants to be talked about. Hang on. That wasn't expected, but here you heard my voice twice. Good, so I want to head right into the slides. This is about the journey of the heart and reflecting on things. It's been a very intense year already, even more intense than the year before. However, the intensity, you get used to it, and I just want to share this information which can be very healing for a lot of people. This is what we talk about here at the Gnostic Takeover, about important information for healing, so we can come into peace with our life and reconnect with the life force that originates from the source of all life. So this is, as always, the dedication that is the dedication of the Gnostic Takeover. So I've got a few slides prepared, and I wish everyone a wonderful journey. I want to remind everyone here that you are entering into ceremony with ayahuasca and datura. Where there's many names for it, it is a field of consciousness. It's natural intelligence. I also like to call it the forces of ultimate power, or the intelligence of the plant kingdom. And by entering ceremony here, I'm telling you, so everyone is informed, that this is not your regular YouTube video for entertainment purposes, but ceremony is all about healing, and healing our wounds, healing our traumas, in order to really come into our power and to see the light at the end of the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel vision. And by shifting perception, we change our vision and we get out of the tunnel vision that we get from all angles in this world of illusion, this world of deception. And here at the Gnostic Takeover, I want to create a hub of people where we can get together and help each other, listen to each other as we move through the powers of the universe that we are connected with, and truly transform to the being that we're meant to be. The Gnostic Takeover is all about anchoring deep in the heart, for you are going to need it for the journey. The Gnostic Takeover is not for everyone. However, my intention here is for it to become a hub of heart-centered, heart-connected people, those of mankind, who make the choice to follow their heart. But as one can see in the picture that I've used for this video, they told me to follow my heart. However, now it's so dark, and that's where we need shining lights in our community. And that's what the Gnostic Takeover is, trying to be a pioneer, that shining light that can get us through even the darkest of times in our life. And when we're on the brink of transformation, you can rest absolutely assured that it will look as if we're in the darkest of all times. However, the truth is that we are just on the brink of a quantum leap in our evolution. By leaving the comfort zone of fear within the tunnel vision, leaving the tunnel vision and seeing the bigger picture. So that's what the Gnostic Takeover stands for, is anchoring deep in the heart. And there's going to be also guided meditation that will follow in the days to come that will help you anchor deep into the heart, which will be all about connecting the heart to the mind and have the mind be the servant of the commander under the commands of the heart and taking the commands of natural intelligence. So yes, let's anchor deep in our heart, for we're going to need it for the journey. It was in 2018 that I read a book from Vivian Dietmar, which was called Feelings and Emotions. And it was the first time in my life that it triggered a remembering inside of me the importance that lays hidden within easily overlooked aspects of our emotions. The world that I was born into, and that everyone listening here has been born into, there's a strong emphasis on intellect and intellectualism, analytics, and everything that relates to the intellectual mind. However, there's another side of the coin, which is in great need of rediscovery and has everything to do with heart-based intelligence, and that is emotional intelligence. And a great way of putting what emotional intelligence really is quality instead of quantity. So the Gnostic Takeover is a small hub. I've been building the Gnostic Takeover since more than 2 years now, and it's not the greatest of channels when it comes to viewer counts or subscription counts. These would be all parameters how our intellect would interpret the Gnostic Takeover. However, we're missing the point when we do not recognize that the Gnostic Takeover is all about anchoring deep in our heart. And it looks at the world in the rediscovery of our emotional intelligence and activating that most important aspect of our intelligence, which is emotional intelligence, from which we get empathy, from which we get kindness as mankind. And it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. Quality instead of quantity. And it's a spiral, as you can see. Instead of knowing more and more and more and filling up the vessel of education, learning about the world and knowing more and more about many things, instead of going forward, emotional intelligence takes us deeper. Like this spiral is taking us deeper. It's like a spiral of awakening. And it's taking us into the deep waters, which is where the truth is hidden. And we can rediscover it by rediscovering and activating our emotional intelligence. And the heart is a very mysterious When a lot of people talk about, oh, you need to reconnect with the heart, it's all about the heart, and open the heart. However, it's a very mystical intelligence, and it's all about not talking what the heart is, but actually experiencing it, which is also the reason why I'm in the future going to do more meditations on this channel, as I've changed my daily routine. The last 4 weeks I've been meditating every day as part of my morning routine, and it's really given me a lot of power, and it's helped my healing a very lot, which is the reason why I'm sharing it with all of you. And I've discovered that I'm actually very skilled in guiding meditations. So the mystical powers of the intelligence of the heart would ask us, if we want to go and anchor deep into our heart, and if we want to walk the path of the heart, it would ask us, do you want to feel better, or do you want to be free? There's a difference between those two, which is the reason why I'm discerning here. Because if we want to feel better, then we're not going to go the journey of the heart, because that will take us down the spiral of awakening and reconnect us with our true, authentic self. But in doing so, all the limiting beliefs and all the limiting belief systems and ideologies and stories that we've told ourselves throughout our life, they will break away. And our life will use life situations as a mechanism of experiencing these life experiences in order to break free from those limiting beliefs that we have programmed ourselves. That is our story of our life. Oh, it has always been like this, and now I'm going through this again, and it will always be like that. Heart-based intelligence can break through any curse and through any limiting belief system. We just have to keep going and keep walking along the path, which at times can look very dark. However, I want to remind everyone here that it's worth the risk and it's worth the journey in order to be free. To be absolutely free, which would mean that we can finally live a life without fear. That's what true freedom is. Living our life completely without fear. Wouldn't that be absolutely wonderful? Well, if that's what you think is wonderful, then you most certainly are on the path to reconnecting with your heart, to reconnect with the source of all life, and to reconnect with your life. This journey can be very dark and it can be very intimidating. And the mind, the program that runs within our mind, will give us every way possible to escape the journey that we walk towards our heart, the reconnection with our true, authentic self. It will give us all the reasons not to do it. However, the only way forward is the healing of what happened. Those things like a spiral, spiraling up and spiraling down. There's a reason why the Milky Way has a spiral form, and why the spiral is so significant when it comes to the structure of our universe, and how consciousness creates the universe, is because forward and backward are related to each other. Whereas in the New Age religion, there is a misunderstanding that is being perpetuated. I myself have come across this misunderstanding that is misleading a lot of people when they want to create a new life. They want to change their life and their lifestyle, and they want a life of truth, freedom. They want to make the choice of not feeling better anymore. I'm done with feeling better, because I know that in the long run it won't give me what my soul is yearning for. I don't want to feel better in the short term anymore. I want to be free. And it's very important to emphasize that the only way forward in creating a new life, we create a new life by untangling ourselves from the entanglements of our old life that we call our past. So the only way forward in a new life, and this is what we're meant to do here in our experience, in our life, is like life is constantly transforming itself in every moment. That's the truth. Whereas the program in the mind would want to tell us that nothing ever changes. Oh, it's so difficult to change things. In reality, everything is always constantly changing in every single moment. That's the truth. And the truth has a resonance and can be discovered. So the only way forward for our new life is by healing of what has happened. And don't be intimidated. The mind, the program would want you to be intimidated in order to not go the journey of the heart, because it would mean death to the program, the end of the program, and the beginning of true, authentic you. It has a lot. The reason why many people, they start the journey where they want to anchor deep in their hearts. They want to heal their childhood traumas. However, the mind has many ways of disengaging us again, and I've been there many times, losing my focus, losing my concentration, and being sucked in again and fooled again, so to say. However, it's all about keep trying, and you're on the path anyway. You're on the journey toward your heart anyway. And a lot of it has to do, when we talk about healing our past, a lot of it has to do with healing the fear of abandonment. This is a massive topic that I will be speaking about more, because it's along my journey right now that I'm sharing with you openly, always here on the Gnostic Takeover. As you could have gathered from the last video, the plant medicine that we're in ceremony with here has challenged me over the last 10 days especially, or 2 weeks now, to face my existential fears. And it's horrifying. However, I knew that the only way forward was in the healing of what happened. And I know what happened. I know that it's something that I got from my past, the trauma of, and what comes along with that trauma also is the trauma that I'm not allowed to be myself. I'm not allowed to do what I love doing these videos. I love doing these videos. I love being here for my community, for everyone here of mankind listening to this. And I'm only honestly sharing here what I'm going through. It's existential fears that I've been going through. It's the 31st of August today, which is very significant, and I'll get into this in a short while. Because I'm being honest, I'm sharing what I'm going through and what it really takes to come into our power. And as I said, it's the end of August. Tomorrow is the beginning of a new month, and I have not checked my bank account ever since I did the last video. And I was having to surrender to trust that I can heal the fear of abandonment, that I will not be abandoned by my human family, and especially not by the plant medicine, ayahuasca and datura. I won't be abandoned. And it even came to the point where I've been working the last few days. This is also the reason why you've not heard of me. I've been working many hours every day on the new magnum opus, which is going to be massive, 4-hour presentation, which I'm putting the slides together. However, I wanted to connect with you before in this video and share a little bit more about this very important issue. As I was doing the slides for the magnum opus 2, I was doing what I love doing. I love doing videos. I love doing these videos, the same as I love doing presentations. And by the way, the Gnostic Takeover is going public, and I'll be speaking more about that in due course. But we're going public in September. We're doing our first presentations, inviting mankind to our presentations and speak about taking our planet back. It's happening. It really is happening, and I couldn't be more grateful and happier in going out there again and holding my presentations and talk about the one and only truth, and not bend to anyone's will. I will speak my truth no matter what, and I'll keep learning, and I'll therefore keep growing, because I also have humility. And as I was doing these videos, as I was working on the video and working on the slides for the magnum opus 2, I forgot all about my existential fears. I did what I love doing. That's a principle that I want to put forward to everyone here. I did, in order to heal my existential fears and to continue healing the deep wounds of that, I did what I love doing without anything in mind of wanting to get paid for it, or I'm only going to continue doing these videos if I get donations. No, I only did what I love doing because I love doing it. And I forgot all about my existential fears as I was preparing these slides. And I feel very different to when I did the last video on the channel. I feel very different. And I can say I've really moved through it. The fear, the existential fears. And I'll continue to move through it because I'm not fully there yet, but I've committed myself, I've dedicated myself to healing that wound. And what lies underneath those existential fears is the fear of abandonment. It's a deep trauma. And it is a trauma that we can heal. I can say that because I'm on the path of healing, which means that we can all heal it. The truth is that we have been programmed to fear the unknown. And this is why it can feel such a lonely, such a dark path when we go the journey of the heart, knowing that the only way forward is the healing of what happened. It can feel very dark. However, the fear of it is because we as a species, we as mankind, we've been inserted into a way of thinking, which is what Carlos Castaneda called the foreign installation. It's a program that is running within our minds, which we mistake to be ourselves, when it is actually the very opposite of our true self. We have been programmed to fear the unknown, and from that we also get the very strange experience that many people would rather stay in safe and secure slavery instead of venturing into the unknown. Many people, as I've said in the last video, have taken the gene therapy because of their fear of the unknown. It's because they fear they're being abandoned. It's because of the fear of abandonment, which goes back into our childhood. This is something that is being systematically perpetuated in hospitals when babies are born. As soon as you're born into this world, I don't say everyone, you can't generalize it completely. However, there is a modus operandi to separate the baby from the mother. And this is what lies at the heart of the fear of abandonment. And we experience this also in our childhoods again. And it's a deep trauma that when it's not healed, it will direct our life, and we will call it fate. However, it need not be our fate when we face the fear and face the truth, what is ultimately the truth. And when you are a moral being, when you know the fundamental and central component of all creation is morality, you don't have to fear the truth. I can tell you from my experience, you don't have to fear the truth. It is only the program within you that runs within many of our minds. It is that program that is in fear of the truth, because in fear we will never be abandoned anymore. Never again. And in actual fact, we are loved by our life and by the source of all creation. However, we've been programmed to fear venturing into the unknown and leave the comfort zone of slavery, and not just wanting to feel better in the short term, but we want to be free in the long term. We have to venture into the unknown. It's a great quote that I found the other day. It's everything you want is on the other side of fear. It's going to be a massive part also of the magnum opus, dealing with fear and how freedom is actually the absence of fear. Everything we want is on the other side of fear, so that's where we get our new life. That's where we get when we realize all it takes is walking one step after the other and committing to healing our past in order to move forward into our future. And this is the two different perceptions of a bubble perception and a perception outside of the bubble. So within the bubble of the program, this is the program speaking. I will die when I leave the bubble. However, outside of the bubble, I am the life. You only come to life and reconnect with your life, reconnect with your heart outside of the bubble. You won't die when you leave. The program dies when you leave. It's the program that keeps you in servitude to the psychopathic class that know how to keep you subordinated to their will. You won't die when you leave the bubble. When the bubble bursts, and this is also when the bubble is beginning to burst, as this is also a journey. It's not something that just happens out of the blue. It's a journey from my experience. The more the bubble bursts, you'll realize I'm finally beginning to be connected with my life again. Finally reconnected again to my own life and the life force that came from the source of all life force. And you are a holographic part of the whole, and you are all powerful. When the bubble bursts, we realize we have always been the life. And that's how the flow of infinity can flow. This video is being done on the 31st of August. It's the last day of August, which represents the 8. Very appropriately, I thought I'll talk a little bit about the flow of infinity and how the flow of life force can flow for us when we make the choice of not just wanting to feel better, but actually wanting to be free and make the choice to heal our past when we know that the only way forward is when we heal our past. That's how the flow of infinity can flow for us, because we are infinite beings. It's very difficult to conceptualize that. However, we can use the radio as an example. There's not just one radio station as the program. Oh, I will die when I leave. Oh, I will die when I'm just going to change that radio program that is already torturing me and my ears, my audio sensitivity. I feel sick, just about to vomit, if I continue hearing the same radio station. However, I'm not going to leave the radio station because I'm going to die when I leave, when there's, as we know, many radio stations. It's just an example as technology mirrors how reality works. And the Gnostic takeover is dedicated to anchor heart-based intelligence, which is the reason why I've worked with plant medicine and I am an ambassador as a general of the plant kingdom. I'm not some this or that. I'm a general of the plant kingdom in human form. And to tap into that omnipotent source and to have that life force flow for us and to rediscover the true language of life, and how the language of life is always leading us into the direction that is most healing for us. And the 8, like I said, it's the end of August today. The 8 is a result also of the 6 and the 9, which has everything to do with the sequence of 369 of Nikola Tesla. All those things are connected. And we can connect to that flow of infinity. However, why is everything so dark when we make that choice? When we choose, okay, I'm done. I am finally going to connect with my heart. I'm going to walk the talk. And I'm going with the heart. I won't be distracted of my path anymore. However, also when we're distracted of our path, it can also work in our favor, because we discover places where maybe no one else has been before. And we can at any time come back to the path. Why is everything so dark when we make that choice of following the heart? They told me to follow the heart. I heard people talk about heart-based intelligence. It's all about the heart and opening of the heart. But in my experience, everything's so dark. Why is it so dark? Why am I being punished for wanting to live according to my heart? And because it is so dark, many people go back to old habits, subordinate themselves in jobs that don't make them happy, that don't fulfill them, because they do not see the bigger picture of why everything is so dark. Again, this relates to what I said earlier, that we've been programmed to fear the unknown. Because it is the unknown, we venture into the unknown when we venture outside of the bubble of the program and reconnect with our life. However, if you have noticed, there is a light here. Even though it is so dark, there is a light. And we can let that light grow. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. And everything in our life is meant to teach us and to guide us towards the path on the journey to our heart, on the journey back to our true authentic self. You are on the path, no matter where you are now. As I said many times before in my life also, I've ventured away from the path. And I may have discovered places that no one else has ever been to before. However, as has come in my experience, especially ever since I have reconnected and bonded with the plant medicine ayahuasca and datura, there comes a time in our life when we're going for it. When we're on the path. We're going to walk the path now. And that's what the Gnostic Takeover is here for, as a hub for everyone to tune in. There's many other videos from the past that you can look at also. Very various points along the journey. However, very informative, and this is meant to be a guiding light along the path. It should be a hub where information is shared that is healing and that is inspiring along the journey of healing, and not for entertainment purposes. The Gnostic Takeover is not here for entertainment. It's here for the truth and awakening to our true self, and to make the dedication for freedom and not settle for anything else. No compromises. Absolute decisions is what makes the life force flow. You are on the path. And the question, why is everything so dark, can be gone deeper into by asking, well, how else can you let go and trust that you are on the path? Well, it's going to be dark when it's the unknown. And in order to let go of the program, we have to let go of the program. Genius, huh? And that's why it's dark, because it's unknown, because it's outside of the program. And what keeps us on the path is to truly let go and trust. Always take the time. This is the reason why I'm also uploading a meditation, or possibly even more meditations, because it's the regular routine of meditation that has also helped me to go deeper into trust, and trust this flow of infinity, the flow of life force, that there's infinite energy that can support me. And trusting also that I truly will never be abandoned anymore, and that I heal that fear of abandonment. That's why it can be dark at times. As I said, it's because we're venturing into the unknown, away from the known. However, the known isn't serving us any longer, and our heart is wanting us to go back onto the path, to reconnect with our heart and to reconnect with our true, authentic self. And the deeper truth behind all of this, and this is why I keep saying I'm no fan of the New Age religion, which is all about, oh, don't focus on the dark, oh, that's negative, oh, and then you're going to project it into a life, and you're shadow projecting when you talk about dark things. When what they're doing there is they're making a separation between the light and the dark. When the light and the dark within a connected universe, within a connected sphere of the universe that we're experiencing, light and darkness are connected with each other. And the deeper truth is that we only get to the light of that darkness, just that little light there at the back here in the background, that little light we get to by going through the darkness. The light is encrypted. It is encoded within the darkness. And when we make the choice to no longer fear the unknown, then we connect with our true authentic self and the light of the truth that we are always loved. We are always fully supported along our journey. We only have to remember along the journey and along the path in the dark forest, we only have to remember that this is a journey and the light is coming. And in actual fact, there's always bits of light that we get along the path. It's not always dark, but we get clues, we get communication by synchronicities happening. And we're being taken care of. However, the program in the mind, again kicking in, always wants more. It is not enough with that what we get. However, in terms of the plant medicine that I put forward here on the Gnostic Takeover, the medicine will always only give you what you need and not what you want, because the medicine is here for your growth and not be the next gatekeeper that feeds you with crumbs. You get the whole thing along the spiritual path and true reconnection with the heart. So remember, the old paradigm would be the separation of light and dark. The new paradigm is seeing that the light is encoded within the darkness. And there will always be the Gnostic Takeover here along your awakening journey to give guidance through that darkness, so you're not alone. And the Gnostic Takeover is absolutely a symbol and is evidence that we will not be abandoned. Because I love doing this for the Gnostic Takeover. I love the Gnostic Takeover. I've also even said that my name's not Steve anymore. I'm the Gnostic Takeover. I'm becoming an idea. However, I like the name Steve. I do like it. However, I'm not so much identified with that, what Steve represented in the past anymore. I'm becoming the Gnostic Takeover. And the Gnostic Takeover is a hub for true anchoring in our heart for the journey to reconnecting with that inner child that we are, and to be the force to be reckoned with in our world. Be those shining lights in our community. That's how we truly transform the world. So when it has been dark, and why is it so dark? Why is everything so dark? Well, it has always been darkest before dawn, and the dawn is slowly settling in. It's becoming lighter. Oh, and you can trust. Oh, and you are on the path. You can trust that the flow of infinity flows through you too. Oh, the light is coming. However, the program would want you to believe otherwise. And the program will want to tell you that the bubble perception of the program, when the dawn sets in, it will tell you, well, it was night before. it was the night, and this is just an illusion, this light. Oh no, you won't be happy in this lifetime. Oh no, no, you can't be happy. No, the light is not coming. What are you thinking? It has always been so and will always be so. It will come, it will be dark again, because in your past, it has always been dark. You've experienced that darkness. So why do you fool yourself that it's becoming light now, when all your past, or what the mind associates as the past, has been your darkness? This mind virus that this program is, what I talk a lot about, the Wetiko mind virus, it is so unfair to us. Always. It's never good enough. You're never good enough. It is doing that because it wants to keep us in that bubble, and it is because we are a food source for this virus, which sends on our energy to entities that we wouldn't have lunch with, that we wouldn't have a beer with. Alright? So it's always darkest before dawn, and when dawn sets in and the light is coming in, oh no, in the past it has always been dark. The light can't come in, it can't come in. However, keep going and remember. Remember. Remember that you didn't come here to be subordinated to your own past and to what has happened in your past, even what happened yesterday. The truth is that reality and all life is always transforming in every single moment. When the program tells us that nothing ever changes. Just keep going, venture through the darkness, journey through it, and always remember along your path that it's a journey and that people care about you. I care about you listening here right now. I don't know you, but all I know is what the Gnostic Takeover stands for, because this is what I truly care about. I'm doing all of this because I'm meant to do this, because I love doing this. When I do what I love doing, everything else flows from that, and I can access the flow of infinity. I may be sad when I look at my bank account later today, as I told myself that I'm going to have a look at the end of the month and see if I'm supported financially, if this message resonates with the people, and that people listening to this here realize that when the Gnostic Takeover asks for help, that the Gnostic Takeover is truly helped when people can assist the Gnostic Takeover financially. However, even when I take a look today and I again venture into the unknown, go outside of the comfort zone, face reality, even if things may look difficult financially when I look there, I'll still know that I'm guided on the path, that people care about the Gnostic Takeover, and nothing can ever change that because I remember. because I remember it's always darkest before dawn, and I can feel that dawn. I can feel it. It's been very, very dark before, and there was always deep within me a knowing that there is this light, and it's dawn now. I remember. And no matter what, I will always stay with my principles. No matter what. As there is no turning back from me anymore. I will never ever take on a job in my life anymore. I would rather die than subordinate. I will always stay true to my principles. I don't tell you what life is. I don't tell you how to think. As I know that education is the kindling of a flame, it is not the filling of the vessel. Let your flame be kindled, and let that be a new beginning, a fresh start. We can always have a fresh start. It's our life, and we choose how to live it. And we can realize that we're meant to live our life in freedom.